Welcome to Ancherhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this. The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Ancherhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses. I thought you would. Without these fees, Zerka Corporation would have closed this port years ago. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure? There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well, past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look. I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it. No, it's common knowledge, so there's no harm in telling you. It's a tale of bad business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company. Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business. Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it. Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however. Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals. The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate. Not personally, but they've given Zerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it. It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in central Ancherhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Ancherhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
Ucciua Penki Tony tuamaji human ak ikatune. Chi itakang ki chana kilikon. Chiwa itakang ki Baba Hassan Shan. Smilia!
Papuelta, Colo Luz, Ivan Rebut, Ikel y Remote. Puntas del Shelfa, Gusta del Cliff, Colo Luz, Papuelta, Colo Luz, Ivan Rebut, Ikel y Remote. Papuelta, Colo Luz, Ivan Rebut, Ikel y Remote. Luftadan Gelfa, Noisidan Gelfa. Guten Tuf Black Van Nibel Gelfa, Noisidan Gelfa, Badinogan Gelfa. Papuelta, Colo Luz, Ivan Rebut, Ikel y Remote.
Please, will you help me? I have nothing left. Oh, thank you. I don't have anywhere else to turn. If you're down and out on Tatooine, you're on your own. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to Faza without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare. It's the bone plate from the head of the desert raid. My husband was so proud when he found it. He had just started hunting. He said he felt sure the next hunt would bring in more, so we waited to sell this one. Then he never came back. Will you buy it? I can't sell it myself. They're worth more than 500 credits. You will? Oh, thank you so much. Please, I know it's worth at least 500 credits. Thank you. I hope it is enough. You've been a great help. I appreciate it. My children will too.
Glad to see we're still the good guys here. Sometimes I think we forget that.
Wow. Sometimes helping people feels pretty good, you know?
For whatever it means, may the Force be with you. You saved us.
Akupa Chekupa? Gino Mulira King Paija, Kislimo Potuama? Muchashak Pakat. Kieno no Namapaule Rachikun. Takom Juzdach Miki Grabalmogo. Kachi Ita Hodunga. Jedo Badawana ni Dibobo. Dong Nabungsha Nununya. Dong Batukas Magdalea. Tolpa da Bongwale Gandona Guguchuchut. Kavadum Kupilio Botenya. Bonanai Kuchu. Hawaga Bosca Chocola. Mucha Shag Panka. Jedo Badawana ni Dibobo. Dong Nabungsha Nununya. Dong Batukas Magdalea. Kachikun itahodonga, iking kuno pamulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga kunkabe. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi itahodunga. Jedo badawana ni dibobo. Dong nabungsha nununya. Dong patukashmak talea. Muchashak pakat. Kieno no namapaole rachikun. Jedo badawana ni dibobo. Dong nabungsha nununya. Dong patukashmak talea. Hakupa chekupa. Gino mulera kenpaija. Kislimo podwama. Jedo badawana ni dibobo. Dong nabungsha nununya. Dong patukashmak talea. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Muchashak pakat. Kieno no namapaole rachikun. Jedo badawana ni dibobo. Dong nabungsha nununya. Dong patukashmak talea. Jedo badawana ni dibobo. Jedo badawana ni dibobo.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it? Well, of course, darling. Whatever Tanis Fen can do. You know, very few human females come to Tatooine.
Hey, you talk to her with a bit of respect in your voice, or you'll end this conversation minus a few teeth. Got it?
Hey, let's calm down, shall we? No offense was meant. You just go ahead and ask your questions. Sure you do. Tanis can tell you all about the thrill of the hunt. Man versus beast. It's all very exciting. What, specifically, would you like me to cover? Well, the wife doesn't really take much of an interest in my work. Not like you. Now, you have questions? There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy. I'm more the practical type, beautiful. I keep myself fed and make sure everything I have is taken care of. Some guys will talk about honor and stuff, but they still sell their plates to Faza. I guess honor needs creds, too. I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits, too. Uptight and cold, like my wife. They don't like me streamlining the hunt with droids. I don't fit in, but I don't let it bug me. The Gamorreans are different. Good rowdy drinking buddies. Kirk and his boys, they understand that hunting is a business. Of course, they hunt other things than raid, too. Just don't turn your back on them. Ever. Nothing. Nothing at all. Just keep your eyes on them, that's all. Dorak is reasonable. Komad is a pain, but he keeps his distance. I can tell he doesn't like me much. Ask around the lodge if you want information about the other guys. I don't really talk to them much. Fine, whatever you want. Well, darling, old Tanis might be just what you need. Unless you mean the dunes. I suppose only the Sand People really know them. I'm sure I can help you. Ask away. Smart traders. They've salvaged and sold me my own damaged droids once or twice. They don't say much I can understand. I think they're a little slow, but who am I to judge, huh? Sure. My blood. They almost got me last year. Tore up 2 of my battle droids. Wife was mad about that. Took her weeks to fix. Where they got weapons to cut battle armor, I don't know.
They act like animals, but they can surprise you. I don't know. Take a dune and walk. They'll get you soon enough. You hurry back any old time, darling. Any time.
Abuelita, Kolo dus Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo, Udasta Shelfa, Ufta Kel Kis, Kolo dus da. Undas, Ufta Kel Kis, Udasta Shelfa, Udasta Shelfa, Ufta Kel Kis, Kolo dus da. Undas, Ufta Kel Kis, Udasta Shelfa. Abuelita, Kolo dus Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo, Udasta Shelfa, Ufta Kel Kis, Kolo dus da. Undas, Ufta Kel Kis, Udasta Shelfa. Udasta Shelfa, Ufta Kel Kis, Kolo dus da. Abuelita, Kolo dus Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo, Udasta Shelfa, Ufta Kel Kis, Kolo dus da. Abuelita, Kolo dus Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Undas, Ufta Kel Kis, Udasta Shelfa. Abuelita.
Something you want? I don't have a lot of time for talk, so please, make it quick. Of course, I always have time for a pretty face. Any face, really. What do you need? I repaired the sand crawlers when they returned from the mines. They get pretty banged up, even without the attacks. The sand people attack them pretty regularly. Zerka Corporation is getting pretty sick of it, I hear. They've offered bounties on sand people for a while now. But few hunters take them up on it. Too dangerous. Try at the Zerka office. It's right here. They'd know. Oh, the big crawlers head out at dawn. That's so they avoid the bigger predators. The raid, I mean. Doesn't help avoid the sand people, though. They attack pretty regular, no matter what Zerka Corporation tries. All right, then. Back to work, I guess.
Laboda ni winkis maktoma, wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kek, tok ninja mira rabes, uba batu koji, tong nongbong chang yung yang, tong patok smakdelia. Kuya mi jus kuna jiktanai, ina kun ma marulira rachikun, slimo padona, mundi hadonga jihong kabi, laboda ni winkis maktoma, wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kek, tok ninja mira rabes.
Can I help you? These are the offices of the Zerka Corporation. I trust you have business with the company. If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses. As I said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many people cavorting about outside the walls as it is. Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The Sand People are becoming a problem. They destroy our sandcrawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains. Which would you rather have dumped on your office floor? Besides, they're ceremonial weapons, unique to each warrior. It's just as good. Excellent. Now, just so we understand each other, this is an enforceable contract. Zerka Corporation takes this very seriously. Here's your license, and a few directions. We believe one of their enclaves is in the far south of the Dune Sea. You might try following one of our sandcrawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them. Very well, though I do have work to get back to. Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerka Corporation payroll. Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it. We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him. He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances. Zerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job. As I said, all employees have signed waivers absolving Zerka Corporation of any financial liability if this occurs. It is the industry standard. I suppose you could apply for special dispensation from the Zerka Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please. Very well, though I do have work to get back to. Of course. Zerka Corporation records are available at our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. For your needs here, we maintain a fully stocked storehouse. Speak with Greta Holda about any purchases. Certainly. Please pose your questions to the representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I'll have to refer you to the representative kiosk. Very well. I assume that by out of the ordinary, you're referring to the destruction of Terrace? That is all anyone is talking about. I'm afraid Zerka Corporation is not offering any comment on those events. We wouldn't wish to anger the participants. If you're looking for local events, I suggest you go to the Swoop Track, one of the few leisure industries on Tatooine. There was also a Jawa here earlier, saying something about needing help. I think he's out by the city gates. I can't be more specific about what he wanted. Our droid translators had difficulty with the message. Farewell. Zerka Corporation welcomes your future inquiries.
La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi juskuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira ratikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi juskuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira ratikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga jakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topada bung walia gando do nano chuchut. Musha papampa, bola wana chitne. Bamuli slemo boda wanga kun bes mulira rabes. Kuyabi juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mulira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Laboda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Laboda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Laboda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Laboda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihon kabi. Laboda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non kek.